All right, first question for Rob. We'll start down here in the front.
Hey, Rob, how close was Harrison? Was he closer than maybe the last two games?
Yeah, a little bit. We're going to shoot for Saturday now. So he'll probably play the same role today that he has the last couple of days.
And if he played, would it be center field, or is it possible if he plays left?
No, I think it'd be center field. Yeah.
Next question. Going to go here, Paul, in the second row.
Rob, yesterday Marsh had a couple big spots where he came up. In that spot, bases loaded, say 2 outs. If you had been losing or tied, would you pinch hit that early in the game and go with Kepler and center the rest?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, possibly.
And in that spot, though, just with the lead, you're probably keeping him in.
Yeah, without having Bader being able to play defense, and I just stayed with the defense.
Okay, right here in the middle.
Rob, yesterday Max Kepler gets 2 plate appearances against a lefty, works a walk both times, makes a nice diving catch for you in left field as well. Encouraged by those at-bats against left-handers, and is there something that you can kind of take from that going forward here?
Yeah, I am, and I'm encouraged by Marsh's at-bats, too. He had a bullet off of Kershaw that was pretty impressive. You know, the one at-bat, he got in the hole with the clock violation, but yeah, both those guys, I've liked their at-bats against lefties.
Next question. I'm going to go back to Paul and then to Destiny.
Rob, I know you didn't use Duran last night, but he was up in the 7th. He threw quite a bit in the bullpen. Is he still available for 2 full tonight if you need him?
Yeah, I haven't talked to him, but I'm sure he is. He'll give us whatever we need.
Goodness.
If you guys win today, will you wear the powder blues for Game 5?
Not sure.
That's all I got.
Who we got? Next question. We good here? Okay. Thanks, Rob.
Oh,
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, well, questions for Bryson and Alec? We got Matt in the back.
I know there was a lot of excitement about how the game went last night. How have you guys felt the vibe in the clubhouse about keeping the focus on one game at a time?
I mean, it's one game, win or go home. So, yeah, I mean, nobody's really worried about yesterday or tomorrow. It's just come do our job today and play a game.
For both of you guys, Bryson, I think you've made the playoffs every year. You've been in the majors. Alec, you've been in the playoffs almost every season. You ever take a step back and maybe appreciate the opportunities you've gotten so early in your career to play so often in October?
For me, yeah. Obviously, you play with guys who played 9, 10 years and never make the playoffs. And I always remember JT saying, I waited 9 years for this, and you do it in your first 7 months. So you never take it for granted, and obviously you want to finish the job. But at some point you do look back and you're like, we made strides, we made the playoffs and things like that. But obviously the ultimate goal is to win the World Series.
Okay, we go to Bob.
When Schwarber hit that home run in the 4th inning, just tie the game, there's still a lot of game to be played. But what did that do to you guys? It seemed like it just lifted a huge weight off your shoulders.
Yeah, I think obviously that's pretty typical with us. Schwarber's usually the guy that pops a big homer to kind of give us a lead or get us going, whatever it might be. So I think, in that scenario, I think that kind of made the hitting get contagious a little bit, and then we started to string some things together and have good at-bats and just kind of keep the pressure on.
Okay, I'm going to go hit first row.
For both of you guys, what did it say about Nola, I guess, that he bought into that plan yesterday, given what he's accomplished, to just kind of be the opener and hand it off to Ranger?
That's Aaron Nola in a nutshell. He wants to win and the ultimate team player, and he'll do anything that's asked of him, if that's 1 out, if it's 3 outs, if it's 6 innings, and he's just all the way bought in, and you'll never hear a peep from him. So that was huge yesterday.
Okay, I'm going to go to Paul in the second row.
Bryson, you mentioned JT. Obviously, the goal every year is to win the World Series. Does this year's run feel different at all for either of you guys, I guess? Since you got JT and Schwarber maybe becoming free agents and you don't know what the future is going to be, Ranger too. Does this year feel any different than the past runs? A little more urgency at all?
I think the urgency's kind of always there. Obviously, you go into each year knowing that odds are the clubhouse is not going to look the exact same, no matter who it is, from different free agents year to year and guys that come in for 1 year and things like that. But yeah, I think the urgency is always there, and those are two big pieces for us. So just having those guys around and focusing on today and winning today and going from there.
You stay right there on the second row.
For both you guys, I mean, this team has been resilient not only last night, this season, but the past few seasons. What are the qualities of the core that enable you guys to kind of bounce back when you hit adversity? What is it about you guys that enables you to respond most of the time?
I think a little bit of it is just like, we're in the big leagues and nobody really cares whether you're down 5 runs, 6 runs. Like, I think, our job is to play the game, no matter the situation, the scenario, down 0-2, down in a series, a game, or whatever it is. We come to the park and we play the game. And if we find ourselves down in the 7th inning, it's not, looking forward to the next day or whatever it might be. We just keep playing the game. And I think up and down the lineup, we have a lot of pieces that can spark some big innings, and we also have some arms that can, shut things down towards the end of the game, that can keep us in a game and give us a chance to come back. So I think all that just kind of stems from just guys playing the game and doing their jobs and not really being so worried about the scoreboard or anything like that.
And I think for my point of view, we have so many veterans and guys that have kind of seen everything and been through everything, or know someone or played with someone that's been up 2-0 or down 0-2 or anything like that. So just kind of being able to lean on them and listen to kind of what they were going through back then and things like that when it's already happened to them is big. And I think experience is a big thing for our group.
I'm going to go back to Bob.
Bryce Harper's been saying the last couple of days how much you guys enjoy playing, at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. But the fact you guys played well out here 3 weeks ago, does that have any carryover effect to what's going on now here?
I mean, I think it could not, but I think it's one of those things where there's not that little thing on your shoulder saying we don't play well here. So I don't think it is necessarily like, oh yeah, we know we dominate in Dodger. I don't think that's a thing, but I do know that nobody's saying, oh, we don't play good here. So I think that's more so, I guess, the lesser of two evils, maybe.
I'm going to go Marcus on the left.
Bryson, you said one of the reasons you guys are so resilient and confident is because you have so many veterans. Do you feel like a veteran now? Alec, do you feel like you're like one of those guys? Because, you've been in a lot of different situations, a lot of different scenarios.
I mean, we always joke about it, and we'll go on the road in spring training, and we'll say maybe next year, because there's still a lot of people with more time than us. But I think for me, just service time-wise, I don't put myself in that group yet. Obviously, I've been here now 4 years, and played in a lot of big games and things like that. So I think just from when the Kemps and Wilsons and things like that, I think I have answers now. Whereas 2-3 years ago, I was the one asking the questions, and I'm still asking questions to Schwarber and Bryce and those guys, but just being able to have answers now, I think you kind of get that feeling a little bit, but yeah, like I said, there's just so many years and years, and I think D-Rob debuted when I was in 7th grade, so we got some catching up to do for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have some big league experience, but in this clubhouse, we're not the vets for sure. I mean, it's also like, I think there's times during the season where we kind of, I guess, observe and think like, we have a team full of like grown men. So, there's not a lot of just like kids on the team. We got just a lot of guys with a lot of experience, and I think for us to coming up into the group that we did has, probably helped us a lot with just baseball experience, knowing how to just carry ourselves the right and wrong way on and off the field, doing all the things like that. So I think, we're experienced, but we're not the vets.
You go back to Matt and back.
Bryson, I'm wondering how you rate Alec's leap last night as some of the other ones he's done, and also what it's been like really to watch him come into his own at third base.
Yeah, that was a huge play, and that keeps a guy off second, and I think I was jumping with him and trying to give him a little extra inches to the vertical, but just kind of watching and being there since 19 and 20 at the outside and things like that, it just shows that when you want to do something and you buy into it and you don't listen to everybody on the outside and you just put your head down and do what you need to do, it's a walking testimony, and it's pretty fun to watch him over there.
Go back to Marcus.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but the year you came up, you spent spring training to platoon with him at third base, and there were some injury issues. I think you played short most that year, and the assumption was, okay, well, you might be the third baseman of the future. There might be a platoon for a long time. See how it works out. And he's played third base pretty much every day since then. Do you remember that time, and can you address how you've seen him sort of grow defensively? There were projections he was going to play first at some point, that sort of thing, and now he's a pretty good third baseman.
Yeah, that was a weird spring training for me. It was all about making the team and things like that, and it was, you're going to play shortstop, you're going to be our shortstop if you hit and you defend in spring training, if you got to earn it. And then I think it was 2 days left to spring, and they asked if I could play third, and I was like, I guess I'll try. And that's just kind of how that came together. And we alternated the first couple. I think I only played 2 games there, but then moved over to short, and then the second when Segi got hurt, and then back to short. So, it was never, this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to do it. It was kind of just getting us both into the games and into the lineup, and we had kind of a log jam in the infield in 22, and tried to make it work, and didn't really go how maybe they thought it was going to go at the start. And then we both started playing, and watching him now at third is fun, like I said, and it's been a lot of growth.
You gonna follow up? Let him follow up, yeah.
And Alec, what were your thoughts in that spring training, and how satisfied, I guess, are you the way things evolved?
Yeah, that year, just going into the season with kind of where we were, we kind of, I think, both got to the point of all right, we're just gonna get the matchups that are most beneficial to us, and we're gonna do the most that we can with those, and try to just, I guess, as 2 young players, just kind of find our way in the big leagues and try to produce. And I think baseball kind of happened, and we had a couple injuries here and there. He bounced around from third, short, second, and was hitting all over the lineup. And then we fast forward to the end of that year, and we find ourselves playing shortstop and third base in the World Series. So I think it was kind of for I guess us, just kind of developing a pretty cool year. But I think it just kind of, the season started, and one thing after another kind of happened, and just ended up the way it ended up.
Take the last one here, Destiny.
For both of you guys, what has it been like to watch Kyle Schwarber's season up close, and what do you learn from him when you watch him in the cages before the game?
Kyle's just, I think the biggest thing I think that I can take away from Kyle is how he doesn't, he's never panicked or anything if it's not really going well. His work's the same, his attitude's the same, his personality's the same, and then you kind of just see him fall right back into, being Kyle and hitting balls 118 miles an hour and just doing all the things he does. So, yeah, I think for us it's just kind of the way he goes about everything off the field and in the cage, pregame, his routine and all that. He's got a very solid routine. He sticks to it. He doesn't waver from it, and I think that's something a lot of young players kind of see and learn from.
Yeah, like you said, it's same guy. If you asked me to just put a blindfold on and after the game ask what his stat line was, I literally couldn't tell you. And I think that's big from a leader, and it's big from our guy that hit 58 or 56 home runs, and he's the voice, and you kind of just, he doesn't need to use his voice sometimes. You kind of just stare at him and know how to act and know how to be a professional. And I think outside of being a great hitter, he's a even better person, and I think that's big, especially from your leader.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay.